All right, Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching this truth that's going all around the earth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's your brother Tazwan from the Great Millstone here in St. Louis. And I'm going to make this just a real quick lesson or just a little impromptu, okay? So I'm out today running some errands and what have you. One of the places I had to go was Lowe's. And make a long story short, went into Lowe's to get one thing and get ready to check out. And I noticed that they didn't have any cashiers, right? So they've got these self-checkout scans, right, all throughout the store now. It didn't used to be that way. But they've converted everything over to these self-checkout stands, right? Where you go there and you scan your own items and you pay for it, you know, with the payment card deal where you stick your card in and all that kind of stuff. We've seen them all over the place now, right? And the long and short of it is that I reluctantly had to use it, right? We in Babylon the Great, we can't get around it now. You know, these merchants are all using this thing, and to me, it's a pain in the ass. I don't like to use them. You know, if I'm in a grocery store or somewhere and there's a clerk or a cashier, I'm going to stand in the line and wait. All right, that's just how I am. But anyway, I was forced to use it. I was shaking my head, and I'm just... So anyway, they got one clerk on duty who goes around, I guess, to each self-checkout if an old person is having a problem and help them out, right? I guess this particular woman thought I was having a problem. I know how to work it, you know, but I'm just disgusted that we you know, have to deal with all this kind of foolishness because we know what it is, right, and what it's going to lead to. So the long and short of it is, the lady comes over to me and says, "Oh, you have to put in your pin, stick your card in, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know how to use it." And I said, "Man, I'm just, you know, just frustrated." I said, "I'm going to have to stop coming here because if you all are not going to have cashiers here that are going to wait on the customers, you know, I'm going to stop coming because I'm not going to pay for what I need and do the work too. You know, that's not my job." You know, I said, you all ought to keep well, I hear these complaints every single day and so on. So I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you do. I said, but, you know, you keep it up and you act like, you know, you so nonchalant about it. You act like that there's not a purpose to it. You know, I said, you're going to be out of a job. And she kind of just looked at me like, you know, I didn't know what I was talking about. "Oh, no. We're not going to lose our jobs. This thing, it's always going." I said, "No, it's not." I said, "What you don't understand is that," and the spirit just took me there. And I said, "What you don't understand is that this system is getting ready to crash." Okay. I said, what you fail to see is that this whole idea of self-checkout and scanning and so on and so forth, I said, the whole idea behind this is to get you accustomed, all right, to just scanning, right? I said, like, your bank card or your credit card has a chip in it. I said, eventually they're going to put that chip in you. And her eyes just bucked and looked at, "Oh, no, that's not going to happen. You know, credit will always be here," and so on and so forth. And I was like, "Yeah, well, you know what, you don't understand." I said, "This thing is way deeper than your job here at Lowe's." I said, "You know, there are people who are running this place, all right, for the most part are international bankers who have bought and paid for this place, all right? I didn't get into Babylon the Great with her and all that. I'm testing her spirit to see whether or not she's an Edomite. And I feel like she was, all right, because she really couldn't receive anything that I was saying. So anyway, she had the typical Edomite attitude towards quote unquote America, that everything is all right, things are going to be great here. And I'm like, "No, you don't understand what's getting ready to happen." All right. I said, now there are people who are running this place, you know, whose idea is to, well, you know, to make you a slave. "Oh, well, you don't believe that, you know, this that they're going to make us all slaves. I said, you want now. You're working, aren't you? You know, I mean, if you had it together like that, then you wouldn't be standing here at Lowe's talking to me. So you're already a slave. I said, but they're going to make you bow down to them when they put the MOTB. You know, I told her, you know, what the MOTB is. I said, have you ever heard of it? She was like, no. So I said, well, that's the whole plan. All right. Let me get a quick scripture. This is Psalms 49 and verse 11 says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? And the whole point of the inward thought is that, as I tried to explain to her, I said, this is not some fly-by-night trial that they're trying to, you know, that they came up with a year ago. I said, these people are crafty, and they've been planning this for a very long time. You know, what's about to come down the pipe here when they destroy this place. This wasn't just something that, you know, or this is not something that's just going to happen. They've planned for this, okay? And these people that we know as elites, okay, they used to have think tanks many years ago, 100 years ago, 150 years ago. They all, you know, all of this, they're doing this, many of them, right, knowing that they won't see it, but their children will see it, right? Their houses will continue. That's how they've planned this. Now, of course, us in the truth, right, and I didn't get this in depth with her, but those of us in the truth, we understand this, that it comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? Because this is part of the prophecy. But I didn't get into that with her. I'm just, like I said, I was testing her spirit to see exactly whether she's an Edomite. And I believe she is, because she never, you know, she couldn't receive what I was saying. All right, and I'm giving her, just testing her to see. I said, had you ever heard of basic, universal basic income? She was like, well, no, I've never heard of that. I said, well, maybe you ought to look into it. Okay, I said, because this place, as you know it, is going down in flames, basically. All right. So this is Revelation 12:12, and it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, right? And so, you know, I'm trying to explain to her, there's a certain group of people, all right, that are the wicked within the earth. I said, you take that guy who's the computer guy, right? Will Hates. I said, you ever heard of him? Oh, sure, yeah, I heard of him. Who hasn't? Right. I said, do you know anything about him? Not really? Okay, well, you know, do you know anything about his father, what his father did, and who his grandmother is? You ever heard of Planned Parenthood? These sorts of things I mentioned to her, and she was oblivious to all of it, basically. Now, when I did say that, what was so funny was the countenance of her face changed, right? The countenance of her face changed to a point where she got real sad, and her bottom lip poked out, and she looked like she was about ready to cry, right? So in my mind, I'm like, call all y'all about Shimmy Shot, right? She fucked up in the spirit, okay? And now she got to spend the rest of her day all fucked up, because I'm telling her that your ass is going to be a slave, you know, in a roundabout way. And I think she caught that, okay? But yeah, this system is a system. There's either, hey, this is why we tell, you know, the men of the Lord preach, starting with the head apostles, a great millstone, to the elders and the bishops and the brotherhood, all the way down, right? And to all the like-minded brothers and the affiliate camp brothers and so on and so forth. You know, the Lord has put his prophets back in the earth, okay? And it ain't by happenstance, right? Because we're living in this time that people have to understand this shit is about to crash all around your fucking feet, okay? And they don't understand that there's a people in the earth who are the wicked that's set up to do what they're doing. And they have this, the people of Babylon have this optimistic view that things are going to get better. No, it's not going to get better, okay? It's not designed to get better, Okay, let's go over the, because you got the devil, as we just read, who knows that he has but a short time. Okay, Salakia. Try to get over into a quick scripture. I'm trying not to make this too long, but I just had to tell, I just had to make a video about this, man, because it was just the look on her face, man. I mean, her whole demeanor just dropped. She just, once I told her that, I laughed my ass off going back to the car. Yeah, this is Habakkuk 2, right? And matter of fact, I just started 1. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 1. And it reads, I will stand upon my watches and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And I was asking, I said, do you believe in the Bible? And she didn't even say anything. I said, do you read the scriptures? You believe in the Bible? She just kept on rambling on. Okay. All right. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right. And these people think that this system is going to go on. They don't have any faith. Okay. They can't see. And that includes 2/3 of our own people. They can't see what's getting ready to happen. Okay. But the just, we're going to live by faith. Lord willing, we are of that number. Right. And the Lord keep his spirit upon us. Okay. Then we'll continue on in the truth and in the faith. You see. All right. But it was rather funny to see her freaking change, okay? Because these people are relying on Babylon the Great to be here, A lot of them don't understand what's happening anyway. Let me see here. Slakia. I want to get something else. Okay. Oh, I know what it was. Slakia. Revelation 13, right? 16, 17, 18. Okay, so this is Revelation 13, 16, and it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And I was telling her about that. I said, see, because the chip that's in your card, they're eventually going to put that in you. Well, why would they want to do that? Well, they're going to control you. Okay, they're going to make you bow down to them and their system. Okay, and they'll be your God to you. I said, you ever heard of universal basic income? And she was like, no, I've never heard of that. But I don't believe that that's what's going to happen. Well, it is. Okay, I said, hey, and anyway, over in I think it's Switzerland, right? That they're having people over there who are having this thing, right? The MOTB, put in them already. You see? But she was a naysayer, which, I mean, I could tell she was an Edomite, Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, that beast system, right? When you read Revelation 17, okay, that talks about the beast system, the Roman Empire that was and is yet to be, and so on and so forth, that did live, so on. I might have to get that. Verse 18, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, which when we look at that barcode, okay, which, just like with this self-checkout, right, you have to scan the item. They got a little scanner up there. You grab the scanner, you scan your item, and then, like, if you have any type of rewards or if you have some kind of discount thing set up, you have to, just like the driver's license now, has a bar scan on the back of it. Okay, and it'll ask you to, scan the back of your ID. You see, I said this is all coming. I said they slowly integrating it so that it's not a big deal to you, but eventually it's going to be a big deal. You're going to have to make a decision. Okay. Let me see. I know this sounded like it took a long time. Like this was a lengthy conversation, but it wasn't. It wasn't no more than 5 minutes because she actually followed me out the store while we were talking. So again, it was just I was laughing inside because once I told her this information and I told her about what was going to happen to her, her whole demeanor just changed. The look on her face, I mean, it looked like she was just getting ready to cry, and it was just hilarious to me. Let's go over to Revelation 17 and real quick, verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. And the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. Right? And that was Europe and the Roman Empire going, being up high, coming down low, coming back, and then the new system, if you will, so that we don't spend so much time on it, you eventually get to the beast system coming back in the form of, NATO and the EU. Okay, these horns. Okay, what is it? 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, verse 8. And the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom, the 7 heads and the 7 mountains, right, which are the nations or the nations' governments, right? And eventually it grew into what you call, like a lot of people would say, well, it's like the whole body of United Nations, right? You got, again, the EU, okay? Slack you. It was something else I was going to say. Maybe it'll come back. Verse 10, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he is coming, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is. And this is giving you all the history of that European Union, the NATO, and in the mix of it, you got the Roman Empire and ascending and coming down and being, I guess you would say, well, you could say dead and then came back to life. All right, all of this is that dragon and that beast system up until our modern time, right? Just to capsulize it. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7 goeth into perdition, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom yet, but receive power as a king 1 hour with the beast. Verse 13, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. And that's the system, all right, which, this beast system is in place, but it's really going to get beastie, okay, if you will, all right, if that's a word, when this MOTB is mandated, okay. These all, Salakia, verse 14, these shall make war with the Lamb, right, with Yahushua. That's why this place was called a quote unquote Space Force. And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, right? The Lord going to take down all these other nations, their kingdoms, their governments, right? All of that is going to be through, right? For the Lord is of For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes of nations and tongues, right? And that's where you get all these other nations that are going to band together, if you will, to try to fight the Lord and the heavenly hosts, okay? The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, right? Because in the process of the day of the Lord, if you will, like we say all the time, you know, there's going to be deliverance and there's going to be destruction, okay? But there's going to come a time when this whole NATO, EU, United Nations, however you want to describe it, all right, they're going to turn on Babylon the Great, right, and use those nuclear weapons against this place, okay? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, right? So these people are really, they don't understand that even they're under the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua on the left-hand side, right? But they're going to bring about his will, because the Lord's will is to deliver his elect and destroy this wicked place, okay? And these nations are going to turn on this place, all right? Verse 17, for the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, you know, that wicked woman, right, that whore, you know. So pretty much I think that's all I wanted out of that. Salaki, I didn't mean for this to go on that long. I'm trying to see. I think that's all I really wanted to touch on, you know. But yeah, this place is going to be destroyed, man, you know. But in the process of that, you know, you're going to have this mark of the beast that's going to be, this MOTB, the C-HIP is going to be mandated, right? And these people, these citizens of Babylon the Great are fucking clueless. They're clueless as to what's getting ready to happen, you know. But it tickled the shit out of me when her face just completely changed, right? And she fucked up in the spirit. Right now, I bet you she can't even eat a little cheese sandwich at her little desk, you know, when she take a lunch, all right? So with that, I'll just end it right there. You know, nothing real big, you know, just thought I'd share that experience, all right, for the brotherhood, you know, and of course for the new brothers and sisters who coming in, you know, this is a real serious thing, okay? All right, it's prophecy, and it's gonna happen, and there's no man that can stop it, all right? So it's best, particularly for our people, you know, when you hear the prophets preaching and you come on YouTube, you watch these lessons, you listen to these videos and so on and so forth, don't take it as a joke and stop looking for something to make you laugh and tickle your fancy. This is a real serious matter, all right? You're either going to repent or you're going to die on this side, all right? So with that, I give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakodash. All right, and we'll see you again real soon with another lesson, Lord willing. Shalom.